The question everyone is asking right now is this: will Belly finally marry Jeremiah, or will she choose Conrad, the boy she could never forget? The new trailer for The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3, Episode 9, doesn't just give us answers, it raises even more questions. What we see in the preview is emotional, confusing, and filled with clues that point into very different directions. And if you think Belly's love story has been complicated until now, just wait, because Episode 9 is shaping up to be the most heartbreaking chapter yet. From the very beginning of The Summer I Turned Pretty, Belly's heart has always been caught between two brothers, Conrad and Jeremiah Fisher. For years, her summers at Cousins Beach were filled with laughter, romance, and the kind of moments that make you believe love is forever. But as time went on, things changed. Growing up meant facing loss, pain, and choices that couldn't be avoided. Season 3 has pushed Belly into the hardest decision of her life, one that could define her future forever. When we look back at where the story has left off, we see a girl torn between two very different kinds of love. Conrad is her first love, the one she dreamed about since childhood. He is complicated, quiet, and often distant, but his feelings for Belly run deeper than words can ever say. For many fans, Conrad represents destiny, the idea that no matter what happens, some hearts are always meant to find their way back to each other. On the other side, there is Jeremiah, and like Conrad, Jeremiah has been open, loyal, and steady. He is the boy who stayed when Conrad pushed her away. He is the one who always showed Belly his whole heart, never afraid to tell her how much he loved her. For many viewers, Jeremiah represents safety, trust, and the kind of love that doesn't have to hurt to be real. Now, as Episode 9 approaches, the trailer hints at a wedding. Belly in a white dress, Jeremiah smiling by her side. Friends and family gathered in the background. On the surface, it looks like everything is leading to Belly choosing Jeremiah once and for all. But if you've been watching closely, you know The Summer I Turned Pretty never makes things that simple. Every scene in the trailer feels like it carries a secret message, a small detail meant to make us question what's really happening. And here's the truth. This season has not only been about love, it's been about grief and healing too. The Fisher family is still dealing with the loss of Susanna, and that pain has shaped every choice the brothers and Belly have made. Conrad hides his grief behind silence, while Jeremiah tries to fill the emptiness with joy and stability. Belly, caught in the middle, has carried the weight of both their emotions while struggling to figure out what she truly wants. This makes her decision even harder, because choosing between Jeremiah and Conrad isn't just about love, it's about the kind of life Belly wants to live after so much loss. That's why Episode 9 is such a turning point. Up until now, the love triangle has been a slow burn, with every season giving us small pieces of Belly's heart. But now it feels like the story is finally forcing her to stop running and make a choice. The trailer doesn't just tease romance, it teases heartbreak. And the way the scenes are cut together suggests that whatever happens in Episode 9 will change everything we thought we knew about Belly's future. So, the question remains, is this really the moment Belly chooses Jeremiah for good? Or is it just another step toward realizing that her heart still belongs to Conrad? The trailer may have given us glimpses of a wedding, but nothing in The Summer I Turned Pretty is ever exactly what it seems. And if history has taught us anything, it's that Belly's story is never about the easy choice. It's about the one that hurts the most. The trailer for The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episode 9 doesn't waste a second. Every frame feels carefully chosen to stir emotions, spark debates, and make fans question what's truly happening. And right from the start, the imagery leaves us wondering if we're seeing Belly's reality, or just a dream sequence designed to confuse us. One of the most striking shots is Belly standing in front of a mirror, wearing a white wedding dress. Her face is a mixture of nervous excitement and quiet doubt. On the surface, it looks like the moment everyone has been waiting for, Belly preparing to marry Jeremiah. The trailer lingers just long enough to make us believe this is the path she's chosen. But here's the thing, in film and television, wedding dress shots are often used as red herrings. Sometimes they symbolize a choice the character thinks she wants to make, not the one she actually will. And with Belly's story, it's impossible not to question whether this moment is real or simply an imagined future. The next big moment is Jaramir's smile. In one scene, we see him looking at Belly with the kind of pure joy that has defined his love for her since the very beginning. He appears relaxed, confident, almost like he's already won. This is the Jeremiah fans know so well, the boy who wears his heart on his sleeve and believes in the simplicity of love. But if you watch closely, there's also a hint of something more vulnerable in his expression, almost like he knows the happiness might not last. Could this smile be from the actual wedding day? Or could it be from a rehearsal, a dream, or even a flashback the trailer doesn't confirm? And that's where the tension builds. Then comes Conrad. His presence in the trailer is brief but unforgettable. We see him walking away, his face heavy with emotion. There's no dialogue, just silence, and yet that silence says everything. It's the look of someone who has loved deeply but lost, someone who is watching the person he loves slip away into another man's arms. For fans who have always believed Conrad and Belly are soulmates, this single shot is devastating. But here's the twist, trailers often manipulate context. That image of Conrad walking away could belong to a completely different moment, perhaps not even connected to the wedding at all. It could be a farewell scene, a fight, or even a moment of realization where Conrad finally decides to step aside. The ambiguity is intentional, meant to stir both heartbreak and hope. One of the most symbolic shots in the trailer shows Belly standing on the beach, her hair blowing in the wind, staring out at the ocean. The beach has always been the heart of this story, a place of first love, painful goodbyes, and moments that shaped who these characters are. In this scene, the beach doesn't feel carefree or romantic. It feels heavy, almost like it's carrying the weight of Belly's decision. This isn't just a backdrop. It's a reminder that every summer, every choice, and every heartbreak has led her to this point. And as she looks out over the waves, it feels like she's not just deciding between Jeremiah and Conrad. She's deciding the direction of her entire future. Another important detail in the trailer is the way scenes are edited together. We see flashes of happiness, laughter, dancing, family moments, immediately followed by tension, silence, or tears. This back-and-forth rhythm creates a sense of uncertainty. It suggests that even if a wedding does happen, it won't come without conflict. Nothing about Belly's journey has been simple, and the editing style of the trailer makes it clear that episode 9 won't offer an easy resolution either. It's also worth noting the absence of certain things. For example, the trailer doesn't show any direct confrontation between Conrad and Jeremiah over Belly. We don't see the brothers fighting or even talking about her. This silence is suspicious. It could mean the show is saving their most emotional confrontation for the actual episode, or it could mean the choice has already been made, leaving no room for argument. Either way, the absence feels just as powerful as what we're shown. And finally, there's Belly herself. Throughout the trailer, her expressions shift constantly from joy to doubt, from peace to sadness. It's almost as if the editors want us to see her confusion, to remind us that even at this late stage, she hasn't fully decided where her heart belongs. This is what makes the trailer so effective. It doesn't give us certainty, it gives us questions. And in a love story like this, questions are far more powerful than answers. So, as we break down these moments, one thing becomes clear: the trailer is designed to mislead us as much as it excites us. The wedding dress, the smiles, the heartbreak, they could all be real, or they could all be distractions. What matters most is the emotion behind them, the reminder that Belly's choice is not just about who she loves today, but who she wants by her side tomorrow. At the heart of The Summer I Turned Pretty isn't just a love story. It's a story about growing up, about change, and about the kind of choices that shape who we become. Episode 9 of Season 3 is more than just Belly picking between Jeremiah and Conrad. It's about Belly deciding the kind of person she wants to be and the kind of life she wants to live. The themes in this episode aren't simple. They're layered with heartbreak, hope, and the echoes of everything Belly has been through since that very first summer. One of the biggest themes is first love versus lasting love. Conrad has always been Belly's first love from the moment she was young. She dreamed about him, imagined a life with him, and held onto the hope that one day he would see her the same way. First loves are powerful. They shape us, they teach us how to feel, and they stay with us even when we try to move on. For Belly, Conrad represents passion, destiny, and the idea that some bonds are too strong to break. But first love can also be painful, unpredictable, and filled with heartbreak. Choosing Conrad means choosing a love that is intense but uncertain, a love that could burn bright or burn out completely. Jeremiah, on the other hand, represents something very different. He is the definition of safe love, the kind that doesn't make you doubt, doesn't leave you waiting, doesn't make you cry yourself to sleep. Jeremiah has always been there, offering his heart fully and without hesitation. If Conrad represents the love you dream about, Jeremiah represents the love you can build a life on. Choosing Jeremiah means stability, trust, and a future where Belly knows she will always be cherished. But sometimes safety can feel less thrilling. And that's the emotional struggle. Does Belly want the fire of first love or the warmth of a steady one? Another theme that can't be ignored is grief and healing. Everything that has happened since Susanna's death has been colored by loss. The Fisher brothers lost their mother, and Belly lost the woman who felt like a second mom. That grief hasn't just been in the background. It's been the silent force driving every decision, every fight, every quiet moment of sadness. Conrad has always carried his grief like a shadow, closing himself off to protect himself from more pain. Jeremiah, on the other hand, tries to heal by embracing life, by clinging to love and joy wherever he can find it. Belly has been caught between these two ways of grieving, trying to comfort them both while struggling with her own feelings of loss. Episode 9 will not only test her love, but also show us how grief shapes the way people choose their future. There's also the theme of identity and independence. For most of the story, Belly's life has been defined by the boys she loves. She has always been the girl who loves Conrad or the girl Jeremiah adores. But now, standing on the edge of adulthood, Belly has to decide who she is outside of the love triangle. Will she let her future be defined by which brother she chooses? Or will she take control of her own path? Episode 9 may force Belly to confront this truth, that love is important, but it cannot be her entire identity. And maybe, just maybe, the choice isn't only between Conrad and Jeremiah, it's between them and herself. Another powerful theme in this episode is loyalty versus destiny. Jeremiah represents loyalty. He has been steady, patient, and devoted to Belly in a way that feels unshakable. Choosing him is like rewarding that loyalty, like finally saying yes to the person who never gave up on her. But Conrad represents destiny, that magnetic pull that no matter how much you try to fight it, you can't escape. Many fans believe Conrad and Belly are inevitable, that even if she chooses Jeremiah now, her heart will always lead her back to Conrad. This tension between loyalty and destiny is at the center of episode 9. Can Belly ignore the pull of her first love in order to embrace the one who never let go? Or will her heart betray her promises and lead her back to the boy she always dreamed about? And finally, the most universal theme of all, the cost of choice. No matter what Belly decides, someone will be hurt. If she marries Jeremiah, Conrad loses the love of his life. If she chooses Conrad, Jeremiah is left heartbroken after giving everything. And if she chooses herself, both brothers must face a future without her. There is no version of this story where everyone walks away happy. That's what makes episode 9 so emotional, the knowledge that love always comes with sacrifice. Belly's choice will not just decide her own future. It will change the lives of everyone around her. So as fans watch the trailer and prepare for episode 9, they're not just waiting for a love story. They're waiting for an answer to the deeper questions. What kind of love is worth choosing? How do you heal after loss? And who do you become when you're forced to decide between passion, safety, and independence? These themes are what make The Summer I Turned Pretty more than just a romance. They make it a story about growing up, about the pain of choice, and about the beauty and heartbreak of summer love. As powerful as the trailer is, what makes episode 9 truly unforgettable is the way it leaves fans with endless theories. Everyone has a different prediction about how this chapter of Belly's love story will play out, and the speculation is half the fun. But looking closely at the trailer, at the characters, and at everything the show has built up to this point, several fan theories rise to the surface, theories that could change the way we see this entire season. The first big theory is that the wedding is not real. Many fans believe that the shots of Belly in a white dress are either a dream sequence or a fantasy. This wouldn't be the first time the show has used imagined moments to reflect Belly's inner conflict. The wedding dress could symbolize her attempt to picture a life with Jeremiah, stable, happy, and simple, even though deep down, she may still feel unsure. If this theory is true, then episode 9 may not actually show a wedding, but instead a confrontation with the truth that Belly can't commit to Jeremiah if her heart still belongs to Conrad. Another popular theory is that Conrad will confess at the very last moment. In many love stories, timing is everything, and Conrad has always struggled to speak his feelings before it's too late. The trailer shows him walking away, but what if that isn't the end? What if episode 9 builds to a final, emotional confession? A moment where Conrad finally says everything he's been holding back. This would create the ultimate dilemma for Belly. Does she follow through with Jeremiah, who has already given her stability, or does she risk everything for the love she has always dreamed about? There's also the theory that Belly might choose herself. As painful as it would be for both brothers, some fans believe this could be the twist ending of season 3. Instead of rushing into marriage or choosing between two futures she isn't ready for, Belly could decide to step back and focus on herself. This would align with one of the deeper themes of the story, identity and independence. Belly is still young, still learning who she is, and maybe episode 9 will show her realizing that she doesn't have to decide right now. It would be heartbreaking, but it would also be powerful. A reminder that love isn't just about romance, but about learning to love yourself first. Another theory worth considering is that Jeremiah's happiness won't last. Even if the wedding is real, some fans believe Belly might hesitate at the altar or even walk away. Jeremiah has always represented certainty, but the trailer's editing, cutting between joy and heartbreak, suggests that not everything will go as planned. If Belly doubts herself in that moment, the fallout could be devastating, not just for Jeremiah but for the entire Fisher family. And finally, the most emotional theory, Susanna's memory will guide Belly's choice. Susanna was always the heart of this story, the one who believed in love, in family, and in living life fully. Even though she's gone, her presence lingers over every moment. Some fans believe episode 9 might feature Belly remembering something Susanna once said, or realizing what Susanna would have wanted for her future. That memory could be the key that finally pushes Belly toward her decision, whether it's Jeremiah, Conrad, or herself. What makes these theories so powerful is that any of them could be true. The trailer doesn't confirm or deny anything. Instead, it leaves us with questions, emotions, and a sense of anticipation that only grows stronger the closer we get to the episode's release. And that brings us to the final question, the one that has haunted this story since the very beginning. Who will Belly choose? Will she marry Jeremiah, the boy who has always loved her openly and without fear? Will she run back to Conrad, the boy who has owned her heart from the very first? Summer, or will she step away from both of them, choosing to grow into her own person before committing to a future she isn't ready for? Whatever the answer, Episode 9 promises to be the most dramatic, emotional, and unforgettable episode of the summer I turned pretty yet. The love triangle has reached its breaking point, and the choice Belly makes now will echo for years to come. So, here's the final thought. When the music swells, when the vows are spoken, when the tears finally fall, Belly's decision won't just be about who she loves. It will be about who she is. And that's what makes this moment so powerful.